Okay, I'd like to give you just a little bit of an overview of the advanced timeline and Logos 10, just some things I discovered that make it more useful to me. Perhaps it can make it more useful to you. So first of all, just a bit of an overview. We're in the advanced timeline. If you want to know how to get there, you go to Tools, Advanced Timeline. So we're in advanced timeline. One of the problems is information overload. So I have selected a era, the Assyrian exile, Judah continues. And what I'm actually interested in, and what we'll demonstrate before we're through, is I want the kings and the prophets that show up in the story after the Assyrian exile, so when only the southern kingdom of Judah remains. So I'm searching for that era, the Assyrian exile, Judah continues, and so that's what's displayed here. But there's too many events to get narrowed down to be of some use to me. And so in this fit menu, if I show all matching events, well, it'll put on the screen everything, these 18,292 events. And so I'll just do that to show you what it actually does. So all those events are on there now. But that's not what we want. We want to pick a time frame. So go back, we'll pick this time frame again. How do we narrow this down a little bit? Well, you could simply type something in the find box. So one of the kings in this era that I am interested in is Hezekiah. And so there we find all the hits for Hezekiah in this advanced timeline. But I want more than Hezekiah, so how do I find the other kings? Well, you'll note here it says reign of Hezekiah. And so if we put another one up there like Josiah, it says reign of Josiah. So if I search for reign of, then I'm going to get all the hits for reign of in all of these panels. Now notice I get Assyria as well. And I don't want Assyria, I want Judah. So this is where this hamburger menu can help us out a bit. If we select place, and I'm not really interested in Israel, I'm interested in Judah. And so we have reign of, which this parameter showed up down here. We're searching for reign of, and we're looking for in Judah. And so let's put all these on the screen. This is an important step to take, so we'll show all matching events. So once again, when you show all matching events, it shows all of these 30 events here. That's what it's doing. So this is quite a bit more helpful. But what about the prophets? I wanted the prophets as well. Well, if we go back up to the parameters, we can type an OR search in here, not an AND search, but an OR search. And we can just search for prophet. We'll just search for prof. Better spell it right. And we will get hits with anything that starts with PHROPH. And so, prophetic career of Amos. So that's how the prophets are listed, prophetic career of. And so let's just, so we want reign of or prophetic. So it sounds like you could use an AND search here, but you can't. If you search for an AND search, it will only return results that occur in a single entry. An OR search will search for reign of in everything, and it'll search for prophetic in everything and display them both for you. So we'll fit these one more time, show all matching events. You can zoom this in a bit if you want. You can scroll it around, or you can, pardon me, that will make the parameters larger. You can move this back and forth like this as well. You can go out again. You can choose to have these biblical eras listed, or you can say, well, actually I want Western and history eras instead. I prefer the biblical eras. You can sort this out by subject and type. I just prefer none here. And so we're starting to narrow things down. We are searching for reign of or prophetic wherever it appears, and we're looking for things that happen in Judah. And so there we are. That helps us out a great deal. If we wanted to narrow this down a little further, notice that it lists late and early for these different eras that the kings reigned. You could decide, well, I don't want to see all of that. So if you put this in parentheses here and say, well, I don't, just type in caps, not early, it will get rid of all of the early ones. You could do it with not late as well, whatever you want to do. If there's a line that you don't want to show up, like this one, you don't want this co-regency line to show up, just type not co-regency and you'll get rid of that one. So that's one way you could do it. Another way you could do it, which is a really extended way, but it works as well, is to simply say, well, who do you want to show up in your search? So we could go back to an all search here, and we could simply say, well, I want Jeremiah, I want Isaiah, get the caps off, Isaiah, I want Josiah, I want Manasseh, and on we go. And you can just, provided you spell it right, this will just give you all of those kinds of hits. So what I actually did was I went to another resource and found the names that I wanted, put them in a Word document. So I'll just copy them, Control C, and I'm just going to dump them in here. So that's quite an extensive search, and it's extensive search parameter, and it gives you all of these hits. So if I show all matching events here, it gives you all of the times when those names appear, but I think I want to restrict this to the era that I'm looking for. And so here we go. We have another way to give you all of these hits, but maybe there's too many details in here as well. We want to restrict this to place once more. So if we restrict this to Judea, and then we go fit again. What's going on? Oh, not Judea, Judah. And we will show all matching events. So here we are. We're getting a timeline that looks a little bit more like we want. We're starting with Hezekiah. We got Amos is in here. We've got Manasseh, Ammon, Jehoiakim. We've got Jeremiah. And so this might be a way you could refine your searches. So there's a variety of ways to use this find box that can be very helpful. If you just type two names like Jeremiah and we'll say Isaiah, there are no hits for that whatsoever. We'll get rid of this Judah restriction. Why is that? Well, it's because Jeremiah and Isaiah don't show up in the same date stamp. But if you simply hit or, then you've got Jeremiah and Isaiah. And so this can be a very helpful way to narrow your searches down in advanced timeline. Hopefully that's been of some help to somebody. It took me a few minutes, a few hours to sort that out. Maybe I can pass it on to you.